Alright, so today we're going over a super useful prompt, specifically if you're a content creator that has a hard time posting consistently. This prompt is designed to basically help you come up with a schedule you can actually follow. So you can steal this prompt from the description of the video or the pinned comment, depending what YouTube allowed us to do. But once you have it copied, you can go ahead and paste it right into ChatGPT like so, and it's pretty much ready to go. You can simply hit enter and keep going, but I'm going to show you exactly what this does step by step. So as you see here, it states, you are my daily posting system strategist. Your job is to build a realistic daily posting system I can actually stick to based on my niche, platform time, energy, content style, goals, and monetization path. Now, the rest of the prompt you can go through and change if you like, but like I said, it is completely beginner friendly and ready to use as is. You can simply go ahead and click enter, and it'll start the next part of the prompt, which is basically the intake section, where it's going to ask us a series of questions to understand who we are, what we're trying to do, what our goals are, and utilize that to actually create our schedule that we can follow, as opposed to us just doing it on our own and, posting inconsistently. So the way this works is you have to go ahead and answer these series of questions so that it can actually produce that. So I recommend when you answer these questions to answer as descriptively and honestly as possible. That way you can get the most out of the prompt and ChatGPT will genuinely understand what you're trying to do. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and answer these series of questions super quickly, then come right back. That way I'm not spending the entire time, waiting for ChatGPT to respond back, and we'll just go through them super quick once I return. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and answered the intake questions, and I used the same niche that we've been using in a lot of our recent videos, which is anxiety recovery content, claiming that that's what we're creating. It's just a proxy example that we utilize, and just staying consistent with past videos. So it asks what niche or topic do we create content about. I said anxiety recovery. It then asks us who is your target audience, describe their problem, level, and goal. I just said wanting to recover from anxiety. What level are they usually at? For example, beginner, overwhelmed, etc. I just said all stages. Now, take note, I'm answering extremely generally because we're using this fake product and whatever. I'm not trying to go into depth, but for you, I do recommend answering as descriptively and honestly as possible and giving as much detail to get the most out of it. I'm just showing you the process and what the result would be, but you get a much better result by going into much more depth. So next it asks us, what platform are you posting on? I said all short form platforms and some long form YouTube. It then asks us, what is your main goal? Views, followers, email signups, sales, trust, community, or mix? I just said mix. Then it asks, how much time can you realistically spend creating content per day? I said 3 hours. It asks us, and this is an important one, by the way, because this is how it's actually going to construct the majority of our scheduling. Next, it asks, what content formats can you make consistently? I just said talking head. It then asks, what usually stops you from posting consistently? I said, I'm not sure. It asks, what do you want to promote, if anything? I said my $49 guide. That's a reference to the fake digital product we created in the other video. Then it asks, how many ideas, drafts, or posts do you already have ready? I said none. And then the last intake question is, any topics, styles, claims, or formats do you want to avoid? I said anything guarantees or overly medical based on the niche. So then it actually goes ahead and creates our plan. So we see here realistic posting capacity with 3 hours per day and talking head content. You can realistically do 1 strong short form video per day minimum, 2 short form videos per day is ideal, 1 YouTube long form per week, and 1 batch day per week to prepare hooks and outlines. Do not force 3 to 5 posts daily unless you are repurposing from one recording session that will burn you out or lower quality. Biggest consistency bottleneck. Your bottleneck is probably not time. It is likely not knowing what to say next, overthinking wording, trying to make every post perfect, etc., etc. Easiest repeatable format. It gives us a whole outline. The highest leverage format for your goal. Should you post daily? Yes, but with a sustainable version, minimum 1 short per day. And it gives us a breakdown as to what we should be doing to do this ideally and make sure that we stay consistent as opposed to trying to force things that aren't working. What should be batched? What should be created fresh daily? What to avoid because it'll burn you out? Then we get the phase 3, the daily content rhythm plan. So minimum daily post, it gives us exactly what we should be doing, but the exact time frame. Ideal daily post, it goes on to more of that. the backup post, emergency low energy post. These are things that we can do just to stay consistent to make sure that we're posting. The weekly content mix, it gives us a breakdown of what we should do on a weekly basis. The minimum viable post that we can utilize, and then a 7-day posting calendar with direct instructions of what we should be doing to promote our content. And as you see here, for instance, day 1, it's reach, and we go over all of this. Day 2, it's education. For instance, recovery does not mean you never feel anxiety again, and goes over exactly why. And on. It gives us a whole schedule for the niche that we're discussing. Next, you see here 10 repeatable content templates. We get mistake post, myth post, quick tutorial, and just everything related to our niche so that we can have more content ready when we need it. Then 50 post ideas. Now, this is great because if you're anything like me, when you're creating content, it's easy to not come up with another idea. You're going to go to ChatGPT, ask it for help. This gives you 50 right off the bat, and you can utilize it with taking everything that we just noted in mind. So, for instance, it gives us hooks, and it goes over 50 different topics. We get 10 education ones, 10 reach ones, 10 trust building ones, which are great for sales, 10 objection handling ideas, and 10 conversion or CTA ideas, which is also great for sales. Then we get the batching system, which is the weekly idea session, the hook writing session, the outline session, the recording session, the editing session, the scheduling session, and the review session. And it tells us basically how we can schedule our time to ensure that we stay consistent, because that is the whole purpose of this prompt. Then we see here the low energy backup system. Let's say we're having a very difficult week and we feel tired. We can utilize this system to basically do things that are a little bit easier, and will just help us stay consistent even though we don't have the energy to go through with our normal load. We see here 5 text only posts, low effort posts, comment ready posts, 5 repost or remix ideas, 5 behind, things like this, just to keep us posting regularly with consistency, which is the ultimate goal here. Performance review system, so we can go over everything to make sure things are actually working out. And if they're not, we can tell ChatGPT and it'll help us adjust. Then we get phase 10, the final daily posting blueprint, which gives us an exact blueprint of how we should be posting throughout our time. See here, first 7 posts to make, we can start immediately, 10 reusable templates, first batching system, and on and on and on with the best CTA to test. It'll tell us this. So if this helped, my full $49 recovery guide breaks the framework down in one place. It's linked in the bio, how we can utilize that, and then a 7-day action plan. So it gives us a full action plan of what we can do and begin posting immediately. Then once you're in this and you've reached this point, you can basically just follow up with this exact chat where you've used this prompt and tell it where you're at, and it'll help you adjust your time depending on what your availability is and how well it's actually working out. And if there's things that should be changed, it'll tell you exactly how to change it. So as you can see, this prompt is extremely in-depth, and that's off of my very general intake answers. So if you're even more descriptive than me, you'll get even more out of this. It's designed specifically to help you create content on a consistent basis and help you with your content creation journey to hopefully monetize whatever product or thing you're trying to make money on. So once again, if you want to steal this prompt, you can get it from the description of the video or the pinned comment. Once you have it, simply copy, hit paste into ChatGPT, hit enter, answer the intake questionnaire, and then you're good to go. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and have a nice day.